Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast Podtalks here with Alyssa. Today we're gonna be talking with you guys how to stop with the New Year's resolution, or how not to give up now that it's only 4 months until 2025 starts, and how to keep pushing and finish off the year strong, because we know that right now, the start of the year, it's easier to stop doing things. It's easier to give up. It's easier to have a lot of things going on with work, with life in general. So I know that right now, motivation for everyone, it's literally like down here. So we're going to share with you guys some tips to ensure that you stay motivated and you keep doing what you have to do to help you reach those goals. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Yes, good. It's good to be back. It's been a while since we've done a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's really good that we can jump back into it and, really hope that this helps you guys because, yeah, the feedback is that people love the topics that we talk about in the message that we're promoting. So, yeah, just keep giving us what you want to hear more of. But I think what people look for in listening to especially this podcast and even your other podcasts that are great is just like, strategies. People need strategies of how to do it. You can say do it, but it's like, how do I? So I think this will be really helpful. We can provide some insight about, like, because we've experienced it with clients, experienced it ourselves, and it's like, yeah, just there's 4 months left of the year, but it doesn't mean just give up and start in 2025.
Exactly.
I feel like those people are the ones that are like always putting it off.
Hmm.
I'm going to start now. Oh, I'm going to start now. Or, I might start like, when things start to quieten down. It's like your life's going to always be busy. You're always going to have things. That's just like how life is. So I feel like people need to really shift their mindset and be
Hmm.
like, if I want to change, getting ahead of the game and starting now is the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like that's one thing like people don't realize. People think that, once my life gets less busy, then I'm gonna start doing this thing. Or I'm gonna start making time for the gym. Or I'm gonna start prepping my meals. I'm gonna start being more healthy. I'm gonna start looking at after myself. But like you said, like there's never gonna be a perfect time. Or
Yeah.
your life is never gonna be just like, yeah, now it's nice and chill. I can do whatever the hell I want. It
Yeah.
might be like that for a little bit, but then again, boom, something will happen and then things get crazy. So it's
Yeah.
I think the first thing that we'll suggest to you guys is to maybe have that awareness, or to
Yeah.
acknowledge that life is always going to be busy for everyone. I think for all of us, we have our personal things going on. We have
Yeah.
always things going on. Like that's never going to stop because life is running. Think about
Mm,
life like a cycle. That cycle keeps cycling every single day, every single hour of the
yeah.
day. So it's mainly think about how can I change things around, or how can I change my routine, or add new things to my routine to ensure that I can continue doing what I want to do, which is
Yeah.
reaching my fitness goal, because that's important to me, while living my life and doing other things. It's always
Yeah.
trying to make it work around it, and not feeling like I need to put everything on hold, or I need to put
Yeah.
my fitness on hold until things get better, and then
100%.
start with this about it. Yeah.
If you keep putting it on hold, it becomes like it doesn't become a lifestyle. It becomes something that that comes and goes in your life. This is like the people that I feel like they don't get those long-term results because they jump into things and they go all in, like they try to put so much on their plate and then they burn out and they're like, oh, this is too hard. And it's like if you actually shifted your mindset and just shift it into this is, or just start with like even one thing, okay, I'm going to go for walks, or I'm going to, just commit to two workouts a week, you know, small commitments that are going to change your life and, like you said before, fit into your life. Not something where it's going to consume you so much where you're like, when life gets busy, I need to put it on hold. If you need to put your health and fitness on hold, it is not sustainable. It is not suitable to your lifestyle. And that's what I always say to people. You need to make it like I have clients and they're like, give me a 5-day, 6-day a week program. Like, I want to do it. And I'm like, no, 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 let's stop.
Yeah.
Like, you've said that you're time poor. The last thing you want to do is put that pressure on yourself. Like I posted something the other day of one of my clients' weight loss transformations. And look, ideally, strength training is ideal for not just for physical, but like mental and internal for health, all of that. But she literally, with her lifestyle, didn't have time to fit in strength training at the gym. So we had to just include movement and focusing on her nutrition. She was able to achieve success and weight loss because that's what was suitable for her. You know what I mean? Yes, ideally would have loved for her to be able to do workouts and do all that, but it was something that was not achievable for her. And if we did, that would have pushed her into a state of burning out, too much on her plate. She would have felt overwhelmed and she probably would have just said, I'm giving it all up. So rather than doing that, we just focused on what we could control, focused on hitting her like daily steps each day, focused on her meal prep, nutrition, and she got results. So perfect example there. That just came to mind of like, you've got to do what works for you. You've got to make it a lifestyle change. And we always say this, you know, like it's got to be a part of your life.
Yeah, and I think like that's the problem with people. People expect to, let's say my goal is to lose weight. They just want to get those results ASAP and they want to do
Yeah.
everything ASAP. But
Mm.
then I realize like the more things you add to yourself or the more complicated you make it, the harder it's gonna be. Because then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I cannot go to the gym 6 times a week, like it's getting too much, this and that. And that's when you start being like, can I put this on hold for a little bit? In 2 or 3 weeks from now, 2 months from now, things are gonna get better. But it doesn't have to be like that. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with my clients. Like sometimes when they join my program, when I ask them how many days a week realistically can you train,
Yeah.
some of them tell me 6 days a week, 7 days a week,
It's
4 days
like,
a week. I'm like, no, I'm
yeah,
gonna give you 3 days a week just to start because once you're a beginner, you haven't been to the gym. You told me on the call that you have no time. So what makes you think that now you have the time to train 6 times a
yeah,
week? You might make the time, yes, for the first week or maybe 2 weeks because you're
yeah,
motivated, happy, you want to get it
yeah,
done.
they're really
But then
motivated.
you're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
But it's
see that so much. Like they'll go really hard the first month and they're feeling good, and then it's like, oh wow, like this is not sustainable. So it's like, even the timing, like I think people are still under the impression that for a good workout, they need to be in the gym for 2 hours. And I'm like, you do not need to be in the gym for 2 hours. You know what I mean? I think people look too much up to, and this is where obviously I'm in the bodybuilding space, but I actually don't like how it is promoted online because a lot of people look up to these bodybuilders and want to do what they do, realizing this is a sport for us.
Mhm.
This is not our lifestyle where this is what we do all year round. Like to be in the gym for 2 hours is not necessary unless you are competing for a sport. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think it's completely like it depends on your goal, obviously, but it's like look at your goal and think, well, can I actually achieve this in a small amount of time and get results? Like, I have clients that are in there 40 minutes and have got insane results, like, muscle growth and muscle definition just from prioritizing a quality workout. And I'm
Mhm.
sure that you can see that too, like from your clients. So, I think people need to stop just looking at social media and being like, oh, well, that person, is always in the gym or that person goes twice a day. I need to go twice a day. Like, no, you don't.
It's just like you have to start small. I think that's the main thing that
Yeah.
you can say. Like you have to start with baby steps. And I don't want you to expect changes. I don't want you to expect to see results after 1 week of you starting
Mm.
with your fitness journey.
Yeah.
After even 4 weeks, like I tell my clients when they join my program, like we're not gonna see changes the first 4 weeks. If we see them, amazing. But I don't want you to be, having your hopes up, thinking like, oh my gosh, in 4 weeks' time, I'm gonna look amazing. Yes, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel amazing, but in the
It's
pictures, you might
time.
not look how you want to look, and that's okay because
Yeah.
we're literally taking baby steps. We're doing this. This is a journey, which means
Mm.
it's gonna be very, very long. We're not gonna achieve the results that you want in just 2 weeks or 3 weeks or four
Yeah.
weeks, even 8 weeks, 2 months. It's not gonna be like that. Like if you want it to be like that, it's gonna be the same cycle, the same thing that you always do, which is starting, getting those results, losing that weight, feeling amazing, then
And
going
then
back
put it back on. Yeah.
to that cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about. It's
Yeah.
that cycle that
And
we
it's
were
it's
expecting
actually
to
so annoying. Like we always talk about it, and people still like I'm just like people that come to me and they follow me and whatnot, and they see the message that I promote, and I'm same as you. I always say it at the start when they're joining my program. This is not something where in a month's time we're going to look back and you've lost like 15, 20 kilos. Like no, It's just not how we do things. It's just not the right way to do things. And it's like, that is not beneficial for you. But I feel like now, and I don't know if you feel like this too, and this could be for anyone listening, I think it's because people are in such a rush to get results that they don't want to actually be patient and see the results long term. They want to see it as soon as possible. And this is, I think, the problem people have when they put a deadline or an event like, oh, I've got to get in time for, I've got this wedding or I've got this holiday. It's all well and good. I love to, obviously, you're probably the same, look good on a holiday because you're obviously going to be, you
Never
know,
keep.
in a bikini more, like, I just live in my trackies, but when I'm away, like, no, it's different. But I think being realistic about it, and if you're always basing your journey on that deadline, that's when people really get it wrong. And it's that cycle. I see it all the
Yeah.
time. It's like, you've got to really stop it. If you're listening to this and you're like, this is me, you've really, really got to shift your mindset. And how do you do that? By taking the long road.
Yeah, and I think people also
Yeah,
like I don't know if it's an excuse, but people always say like if I don't see progress, let's say in 2 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time, then I'm not gonna be motivated and it's gonna be easier for me to give up. Okay, but if you keep expecting that progress and that progress is not coming and then you give up, like you're simply gonna be in the same thing. Like you gotta
yeah,
change the mindset. Because if
that's
you like, do you really think that's hurting you? You thinking or you convincing yourself that if you don't see that progress, I'm gonna feel motivated and then it's gonna be much easier for me to continue. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's frustrated if you don't see that progress. 100% yes,
yeah, yeah,
don't continue, you simply will never see that progress because you're gonna be studying and then finishing,
yeah,
studying, and finishing, and it's never gonna be like a long-term thing, like like a lifestyle. The thing that we wanna do with the thing that we're trying to promote all the time, like baby steps, be
yeah,
be consistent, like the boring things
exactly.
we talk about all the time, patience,
Yeah,
consistency, hard work, structure with your meal plan, with your training program, um, taking your chicken pictures, having a coach, all those little things, but
yeah.
just one step at a time. One
And I
step.
think this goes back to like the importance of having a coach or guidance, because a lot of people are so quick to say, oh, you know what? I've been doing this so long and it's not working. And it's like, okay, maybe it's not working because you are not on the right approach that is suited to to your body, to your lifestyle. Have you considered this? Sometimes you need that someone else to come in and analyze everything that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, everyone is capable of change. Everyone is capable of results and everyone's capable of progress. But if you're not seeing change after a long time, you've really got to sit down with someone and be like, okay, what is it that's not leading to this change? You
Mhm.
know, maybe it's the fact that you're like, I'm tracking, but do you track properly? Or, oh, I'm exercising each day. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're exercising, but are you actually burning enough to put yourself in like a deficit, for example, to lose weight? Like there's so many things to consider. And I think people just assume they're like, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, why am I not seeing results? And it's like, if it was that simple, everyone would do it, right? But it's like there's so many factors to consider. And I think this comes back to the importance of working with someone. If you're someone that feels like I'm not getting results, rather than just thinking, oh, it's been a month, I'm not seeing anything, that's it, I'm giving up. Maybe your next step is, who can I look to help me on this journey? And then actually building with that person and having that time with them, and you'll see this too. Our most successful clients, I know with me, are the ones that spend the time with us. We're
Mm.
able to really focus on their journey, not having that deadline of like, okay, I'm signing up with you for 6 weeks. I want this result. Let's get it. And that's it. It's like, no, so it has to be a journey.
I think like
And
I don't know why, but I feel like some people have this idea of like I need to try everything for myself or by myself first. Once
yes,
I'm like really, 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 really stuck. Once I have, tried all these things that I know, only then maybe I might consider, getting a coach. But it's like,
yeah,
why do that to yourself? Like obviously it's like, when we talk about this all the time as well. Like if you're sick, you will go see a doctor, right? Because you want
Yeah,
someone that specializes in that thing to help you with that. If
yeah,
your car is broken, you will take your car to a mechanic because the mechanic
exactly.
will solve the issue.
Yeah,
If you want someone to, I don't know, I'm running out of ideas, but you get my
yeah,
point. You go to someone like very specific to
yeah.
solve that very
Your
specific
hair,
problem.
your whatever it is,
Yeah, your
like you
nails.
go to
If you want to
someone.
get your
Yeah,
nails done, your makeup, like a
yeah,
professional for your wedding day, all those
exactly.
things. We always reach out to professionals because they have that, they're very expert in what they're doing. Like they have that experience, they have that advantage of like having that knowledge and love that. So why not do the same thing with your fitness? Just because you think you know how to eat healthy, just because you think how to, how to do a structure for the gym by yourself, it doesn't mean that you know everything. It doesn't mean that you're taking everything in consideration. It doesn't mean that you're going to spend the time every single week taking your pictures, analyzing your own pictures. And it's really hard for yourself to see the mistakes that you're doing unless someone points out the things that is going, the things that you're doing wrong. Then you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh, actually, maybe because of that's why I'm not seeing progress. But if everything's just you, like me, and no one else, you don't get those
yeah,
results. That's what
exactly.
going around and around and around.
Yeah.
You don't get to where you want to
So
go.
like I guess like the biggest thing, like the takeaway is like when we're talking about strategies, it's like reach out to someone. That's another strategy as well. I think of all the people in my life that have helped me on my journey, and it's like it took me realizing, yes, I know a lot, but I can learn more. What can I learn from other people? What guidance can I get from them? You know what I mean? So I think that's really important for people to use this as a way of saying, okay, am I going to make the right investment
Mhm.
for my health and fitness by just reaching out rather than wasting your time, energy, money on fad diets and all these things that are out now, I think people need to start really looking at, okay, what's a worthy investment for my health and fitness? What's something that's going to help me really achieve results long term? What's going to help me break this cycle? If you keep going through this cycle, like you were saying before, it's something that obviously you keep doing. So why are you going to keep doing the same thing and getting that same outcome? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like that's what I don't understand either. Like people go through this cycle and I'm like, but you're going around and you're getting the same thing keeps happening. You know what I mean? It's like, what has to change? It
Mhm.
might mean changing your mindset. It might mean, going to someone for help. Not even having to invest in like full-time coaching, but just reach out and ask someone. Do you know what I mean? Like ask someone for what you can do. What's the next step? You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like
but I feel
people
yeah,
as
but
well.
I feel like even if you have the knowledge, like you can have all the knowledge in the world, you can
Yeah.
know everything about nutrition, training, mindset, all those things, but knowledge is not everything. Because if
Mhm.
you have the knowledge but you're not getting the results, it's because you're lacking something. You're lacking
That's
the
right.
accountability. So
Exactly.
yeah, knowledge is not everything, and that's something else we always tell you guys. Like knowledge is not everything. You
Yeah.
can know everything, everything about macros, everything about training, race time, supersets, drop sets, all those things. But are you holding yourself accountable? Well, if
Yeah.
you're getting those results, because there are people that are very disciplined, and that's great.
Mhm.
But if you're not one of them, then what are you waiting for? Like
Yeah.
you need someone else to hold you accountable. I'm not talking about your boyfriend or your husband or your
Yeah.
partner. That type of accountability doesn't count. It
Yeah.
only lasts maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then you're gonna be like, you're gonna tell your boyfriend, don't tell me what to do. Like, don't
Mhm.
tell me this, don't tell me that. You're gonna
Yeah.
get upset when they give you feedback about, let's say, your pictures or whatever. And your boyfriend is there to be your boyfriend. Your partner is there to be your partner. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone has their own role in your life. Just like your coach is there to be your coach. Don't
That's
mix it.
right. And I feel like it's really funny you say that because I was having a conversation with another coach and she was saying she was coaching her sister and she actually charged her, right? And the reason why she charged her is because before she was coaching her sister for free, right? When we say coaching, she was giving her like a meal plan, this, that. Because her sister wasn't paying her, she wasn't taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And her, like my friend turned around and said to her sister, let's take it seriously. I want you to pay me. I'll give you like, she gave her like a good rate, but it's like, pay me so that you're more accountable. And that changed her because she's like, okay, I'm paying someone. I've made the investment. I've got to stick to it. So it's funny you say that because like, I think people, like you're saying, look to their partner or a friend. And it's like, maybe if you actually invested in it, you're going to be more accountable. For some people, that's what they need. And this girl was like, as soon as my sister invested in it, she was more like adherent to it because she's like, okay, I'm investing, I'm paying, I really want to make sure that this works, you know? And I know for some people listening, they're like, oh, that's kind of slack, like it's your family. And it's like,
I,
yeah, it is. It's
yeah.
like, I like that. When she said that, I was like, I really like that idea because it's like, that's a way that people are going to take it seriously sometimes. It's
Yeah.
like a job. Like I think you said it once, like, you know, you're getting paid for that job, right? So you have to show up.
Mhm.
So I think it's kind of the same with the coaching side of things. I think it's really good for people, the accountability side.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking, like what you mentioned before. I think this is good for people that need to be accountable. I feel like once you make that investment, you're like, okay, that's it. Like I've got to do it, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being like having to say that you need to be accountable. Like, you know, I even had someone, one of my girls, and she's like, oh, I think I need to really stop relying on the accountability. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, to a certain degree, yes, you want to be able to take control of your life and make choices on your own, but
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with accountability in your life. I think everyone needs some sort of accountability. You know what I mean? Even us in our business, in our life ventures, we still need that accountability. We still need to, you know what I mean? So I think people need to use that as a strategy. Be accountable, you know, make that next step.
Yeah. And when people tell me like, Danny, I only want to do, let's say 3 months with you or like 6 months, I'm like, okay, great. And then what's going to happen after the 6 months or the 3 months?
Yeah.
People just have this idea that, once I get the knowledge from you in 3 months, let's say, in 3 months, then I will be able to do it on my own. And it's like, what
Yeah.
makes you think that? You've been struggling for 10 years, 5 years, even 2 years.
Yeah.
What makes you think that you're gonna learn all the
Do it
tools
in 3 months.
and like
Yeah.
12 weeks, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be able to do it by yourself. Like I get it, you want to be independent, you want to learn the
Yeah.
tools 100%. Yes, good on you. But it doesn't mean that you can just go and do this by yourself.
Mm.
Uh,
I think people think of it as like it's a weakness if they're like always having to be accountable. But I actually find it a strength. Like the fact that you are showing up and being accountable is a strength rather than those people that will just hide it and be like, no, you know what? I know what I'm doing. They're those people that I find as not as strong because they're not willing to admit, I actually need that accountability. I need that and I want to be accountable. Do you know what I mean? I think it takes a strong person to
Yeah.
take that next step, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I think it's,
Yeah.
yeah, one is that, but there's also people don't want to invest in this. People see fitness or coaching like, I don't know, like I'm spending my money or wasting my money. I wouldn't say wasting, but
Yeah.
they don't really want to make that investment. They will
Yeah.
prioritize something else, let's say like getting my nails done, that's more
Yeah.
important, getting my hair done, that's more important, buying my makeup, my clothes. They see more, they see that
Value.
as a priority, yeah, and see the value on that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not coaching. And that's why some people are like, yeah, just 3 months, that should be way more than enough. After
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
everything on my own. And it's like, no, like you won't be, like you might be able, like
Yeah.
in places, but most people won't be able to just learn so many things in 3 months and hold yourself accountable and be on top of everything, like 10 out of 10 with your nutrition and your training. Like it's not gonna be like that. It will be
Yeah.
amazing, obviously, yes. But realistically, it's not gonna be like that, especially if you have been suffering, some
Yeah. For so
years,
long.
years and years. Like
Yeah.
nothing changes overnight and nothing will
Yeah.
change over 3 months or 6 months, even 12 months.
Yeah.
Even with us, like, I've been doing this for so many years, so many freaking years. I still have a fitness coach to hold me
Yeah.
accountable. Even though we
Exactly.
have the knowledge, I still have a coach to hold me accountable.
100%. Yeah.
Person to help me, check my pictures when I'm feeling something, when I want to change
Yeah.
something. I personally need that accountability. And I
Yeah.
feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like I'm not ashamed to say I have got a coach. Yes, I am a coach. I've got a fitness
Yeah.
coach.
Even in my off season, I was still checking with my coach. It's for me, it's like that's what keeps me successful. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me on track, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So I think people really need to get out of that mindset. And that's why we wanted to come, like, I know we kind of like went off on a tangent, but like for strategies, but like this is a strategy. This is a strategy to stop you from keep saying, let's wait till the new year. Let's wait to this. A strategy is take the leap of faith, make a change now, and stop always relying on new year. Like the new year it's just another day, really. It's not like the New Year's you're going to wake up the 1st of
Exactly.
January and be like, I'm a new person. And, like it's still got to be you changing. And that's why I always say to people, never, I actually really hate, I know it sounds bad, I actually hate the whole like new year, new me saying. I just hate it. I get it. It's nice sometimes for some people. It's like that mentally starting a fresh year, leaving the old year behind. I get that. But I think if you're always fixated on that, then as soon as you drop off, say you drop off in May, June, you're like, it's all right. Next year. Next year's my year. And it's like,
You're
yeah,
wasting time. Yeah, you're wasting
yeah,
time. It's like if you stop now in September, you're wasting
yeah,
4 months that you could be doing
yeah,
something. Even if you're
exactly.
taking tiniest steps, but those
Yeah,
tiniest steps will get you closer to your goal because you're
yeah,
moving forward. You're not getting stuck, you're not moving backwards, you're moving
yeah.
forward. Even if it takes you forever, but you're still doing something to help you reach your goals. So yeah, I'm the same with you. Like I don't like that new year, new me. This is my year that I'm gonna reach my goals. But why
Yeah.
now
I
when
li I think I like the new year as in like, okay, like a fresh start. I get that, but I just don't like when people put so much of an emphasis on it that they think that 1st of January, they're going to be a whole different person. It's like you've really got to work out, okay, what can I do to change my life and do this all year round?
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think something else that I will add, it's just reminding yourself why you are in this journey, why you want to achieve this goal. Because I think that motivation often goes very quickly because we don't have that intrinsic motivation, that internal motivation, that internal reason of why I started with my friend's journey, like why I started to, go to the gym, look after myself, look after my health. Like what's the real reason why you want to do this? Because if you don't know your why, and obviously that might seem very obvious, but if you don't know the real reason why you're doing this, it's gonna be much easier that when you have those moments of feeling very unmotivated, you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop next
that's
week,
right.
next Monday, or next
That's
whatever,
right.
and then that's never gonna happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, those were some of the strategies that we wanted to share with you guys. It's mainly, having that guidance with someone so they can hold you accountable. There's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with having that accountability, knowing the reason why you want to do this, taking small steps, which is probably the main thing that we want to tell you
Yeah.
guys. It doesn't have to be huge steps. You don't have to lose 20 kgs by tomorrow. The smaller steps you take, the easier it's going to be for you to stick to that thing, that routine
Yeah.
that you're creating for yourself, and then achieve that
100%.
goal that you want to achieve. It's all about baby steps, baby steps. It's all about making this a lifestyle, and also
Yeah.
all about ensuring that you don't put your fitness on hold once your
Yeah.
life is very, very busy. We work around
Work
life.
around making it a part of your lifestyle. Yeah. No matter
Yeah.
how busy you get. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can take away, value from this and
Definitely.
use what we tell you, like use the tips, use the strategies that we share with you guys, because that's what we do this so we can help you reach your fitness
Yeah.
goal. But yeah, thank you so much guys for listening or watching this
Thank
podcast. Is there
you.
anything else that you want to add
No,
before?
I think just yeah, any questions that you have, or if you want us to like even go into something further, let us know. And yeah, just keep them coming because yeah, we love obviously preaching this. That's why we do it.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it on your social media and tag me and Alyssa. Until next time. And as we always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao, ciao.